of fans. Ain't about who the favorite, who the best. They a bunch of stands. Know I'm highly favored cause these fists got me out many jams. They say fight the power, but I got power to fight now. Know we gon' be barking at the way and tell them pipe down. Jab, right hook, uppercut, you see the light now. Now the crowd begging for the KO like right now. Never took an L with my chin up. Fold them like a sit-up. Just trying to go on Pops, Craig, get up. Never took an L with my chin up. Fold them like a sit-up. Just trying to go on Pops, Craig, get up.
Welcome to the Boxing Head Podcast, where everything stays in the square circle. We got a special guest today. So in society, when we mention like superheroes, everybody thinks of like Black Panther, Iron Man, Spider-Man, Batman, but those are all fictional. What we got right here on this show, we got a real life superhero in the flesh, a legend in Detroit, a legend in boxing. Man, he does a great job with the amateurs, man. I've seen it myself, man. These kids can throw down for real. But before we start this, I have to give my brother an introduction. So from Detroit, Michigan, son of the late and great Ali Salim, grandson of the late and great Henry Hank. First team all PSAC conference, led the whole country in steals. 2023 Best Detroit Award for Superbad Gym. The first two-time Detroit Coach of the Year. 7-time Team Detroit, trained over 10 national amateur champions, 13 nationally ranked fighters, 2-time world champion trainer. Of course, Tony Superbad Harrison at 154 for the WBC title. One of the most technical, the best technical fighters in this era for sure.
Yeah.
Alicia Baumgartner, when she won WBC at super featherweight. I got a question. Does that undisputed count? Y'all got undisputed on y'all belt, bro.
No, I mean it count as a whole. It count as a whole. You know,
Okay.
I mean it's only one gym in the last 10, 15 years that produced any champions, and I think like Michigan for sure. So I mean it only come out of one gym. So I would say that I would like to say we have a collective thing in the undisputed. Even though I wasn't directly the head trainer at that moment, Tony was. But I mean it's all under the same. It's all under the same tutelage.
Okay, fast. He's a son, brother, father, mentor, philanthropist, and really a philanthropist, man. Him and Tony, they do grocery giveaways, they do toy giveaways, man. They really give back to the community, man. Everybody get up for the co-owner of Superbad Academy, LJ Harrison. We appreciate you, brother.
Thank you. Appreciate y'all. Thank you. Appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah, no problem, man. I'm gonna start off with the first question. So usually we ask people like how do they come into boxing, but you come from a family, everybody plays some type of, whether it's basketball, football, boxing. So the question I'm gonna ask you, because you was also a great basketball player, and I know when you got a family of like different athletes, you trying to pick your lane. Like, all right, do I want to do this? So how did you come about to, because of course you played basketball, but how did everything come about until you becoming a trainer and just being 100% committed to boxing?
Well, I mean, just kind of plain and simple. It was a situation when my dad died in 2020. I was involved with all the fighters as far as like, strengthening and stuff like that, because that's actually what I do. And my dad died, and literally the next day I had a meeting with the gym. I took everybody to go run, because my dad was always like strict on me. And Tony was young, like if anything happened to me, y'all professionals, like keep the show going. So when my dad died, it really wasn't nothing. I ain't gonna say it wasn't nothing, but it was a little more easier for me to, me and Tony took it like this. What I'm saying? And I had a meeting, had everybody training. Like 2 days later, they gave me my daddy. The whole gym gave me my dad tool bag and was like, "You the new coach now." So, and when they awarded me to be the head coach, I felt like I owed it to them to really put my foot down on it and just give it all I got.
Yeah.
That's really how I started. It was that they just awarded me 2-3 days later after my dad died, and I I said, shit, I'm gonna go to work for y'all, and that's how I end up just doing the head coaching like full time.
Nice. Okay. G, I'm gonna start off with you, man. I'm gonna pass it to you.
No, that's nice right there. I absolutely like how they put you in that position, because typically when people like lose somebody close to them,
Mm-hmm.
you gotta put them somewhere constructive. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? So
yeah.
to see that in you already, that's good. But I do want to ask you. So you was doing boxing first and then started playing basketball.
Yeah, I mean the first it's like probably when I was, far as I can remember, bro. I ain't gonna just say no crazy number, but I had maybe I want to say 6 or 7, 5, 6, 7, somewhere around there. Me and Tony started learning how to box. That's when my dad first started training me and Tony in the basement of our house.
Yeah.
And ever since then, we was like, he trained us to be boxers. Like we got up at like 5 in the morning before we went to school. We ran like 2-3 miles every day since we was like 5 years old. We always got up at 5. We worked out, did our push-ups, sit-ups, squats, ran. Then after school he would take us in the basement and teach us how to hit the mitts and move. So I mean, boxing was
Yeah.
like the first sport that I ever learned, and the training that I got was boxing. And my dad always said that boxing training will prepare you for any sport. And
So
that
you
was kind
think?
of
So do
huh?
you think? The what was driving that was just physical fitness? Like, you think he just wanted y'all to stay in shape, or
No,
what do
he
you?
wanted us to box. He wanted us to box.
Okay,
He wanted. I
okay.
mean, that's what he wanted us to box. He always told us though. I mean, like I said, since we was young, that boxing is like, he always worried because he didn't like the politics of boxing. Like he always taught us
Mm,
that since we was again young. But he did want us to box. That was the first sport he taught me and Tony was boxing. Me and Tony used to spar each other all the time. We was kids. Like that was the first thing that we did was box. Like every training was based around boxing. Everything was based around boxing.
for sure.
Yes.
Now, as far as like, okay, so what age did you have your first match? I want to start there. Like,
So
I'm boxing now. Now I'm about to get in the ring with somebody I don't know and fight. When was that?
so this is the funny thing. I never actually had a real fight. I never had an actual fight. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like the most I did was spar. And the funny story that the reason why I never had a fight, because Tony beat me up real bad one time in the basement. Like he beat me up real bad. I was young. I was probably like, I want to say I may have been like 9 or something like that. And I remember my daddy making a spar. And Tony, man, we had a pole in the basement, and he hit my head against that pole one time so bad, and was just like, ding, 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 my head in the pole. And I'm like, nah. So that moment, I started playing football. Then I did the basketball. But I was always smart. I was always boxing trained. My dad was always teaching me. I just was like boxing when it was never going to be my sport that I wanted to do. You know what I'm
And
saying?
that's where I wanted to get at, because the reason why I started asking that, because I'm like, if you was boxing first and then play ball, I'm like, something happened. You
No, Tony
yeah.
happened. Tony happened.
Yeah.
That's what
Tony.
happened.
All right.
Yeah,
You go,
Tony
Tiz.
happened. Yeah, Tony happened. It was funny though, man. Like I said, Tony was probably like 50 pounds younger than me. Tony always been skinny. I always been like real,
Yeah.
hefty, So Tony was, man, like 50 pounds of jabbing and man, just bop, bop, bing, bing, bing. And I'm like, yeah, this ain't it. This ain't it right. But that's
Shit.
why I just decided, like, yeah, boxing. I did it for the conditioning part, and my dad had made me do it, but I knew in my mind then, I'm like, boxing really wasn't what I wanted to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so you answered my question, because we had Coach Carter up here. He said his family used to get it on at Thanksgiving. Like they used to throw the
Yeah,
gloves out
yeah.
there. Yeah.
No, that's and Ray is kind of like, that's why I respect Ray a lot too, because Ray is kind of old school, like how I was. Like me and Ray would like came up like I used to go to the gym with Ray a lot. I used to watch Ray and Tony and them. Ray dad box, my dad box. So Ray, even with me and Ray gym spar, it's never about who gym better. It's like me and him got the same goal. Like we about to see what our kids got today. Like, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
again, and it's just, when you got that boxing in your blood, that's kind of like how it go. It's not like you're not trying to live through the kids. It's
Mhm.
just you trying to improve the kids. If they want to be pros, there's certain things you just have to do. You know what I'm saying? And you learn that. You only learn that from a granddad or a dad, for real. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. So I got a question for you. So, well, I'm gonna ask that one later, but this one I want to ask, because I know there's a difference on how you train the kids and it's a difference in how you and Tony train.
Hmm.
So without telling us too much, because Tony is Tony just had a fight, and Tony said he want to get a few fights in, so don't tell us too much. But we know with the amateurs, I'll start with this. What's your main fundamentals for like teaching like your amateur fighter? So like say like I'm 12 years old, I come in,
Hmm.
I say, hey, I'm trying to go all the way with it. So what's your fundamentals of preparing them?
I think for me, the biggest thing that I learned, well, that I apply to my kids, will make my kids as good. When you young, if I'm being honest, confidence is the best thing a kid need. And I'm amazing at getting these kids to feel like they are the best fighters in the country. You know what I'm saying? And I put them in situations when they spar where they might get beat up a lot of times, and they do. And I put them in there people that's bigger, better, stronger, right? And then they get to a point where they fight somebody their age, they feel like Superman, and now for them it clicks. It clicks for
Mhm.
them. They 8 years old, 9 years old, 10 year old, and they winning nationals now. And it's like I told you this whole time. Remember when you sparred the bigger kid and you was crying? This is why, and it clicked for them, and they understand that they the best fighter in the country. So I think the biggest difference is kids. You have to give them confidence, and with pros, you kind of have to slow them down because with pros, most of them understand how to fight.
Mhm.
So I'm not here to like teach Tony how to fight. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not here
Yeah.
saying, Tony, you need to throw a jab this way. Like I don't do that to pros. Like my thing with pros is getting them to understand like it's a lot of small things they get to a level they start to overlook. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like not reaching for a jab, or like just not pulling up after they throw a shot. It's small tedious things. It's not teaching them how to fight. It's just getting them to understand habits that they need to stop doing. Like like y'all, you get what I'm saying? It's
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
kids is
Yep.
confidence. The pros is more like tedious. It's not about like getting them to learn how to fight. It's just the tedious things you have to repeat them to understand. It's the simple shit that win a championship.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Keeping
Yeah.
that fundamental strong. Yeah.
It man, listen,
I
I'm
hope,
telling you, like the
and
pros is it's so simple. Like it's literally so simple. It's very simple. You know what I'm saying? So it's the tedious small things that you have to repeat to the pros, and they get a lot of them get tired of it because they're like, man, I don't want to. But them the things that work, the simple stuff
Mhm.
that work. The kids they do all type of stuff, but it's just confidence with them.
I wish you was in Errol Spence corner the night he fought Crawford because he was reaching.
But listen, and
He was
those are things,
reaching
man.
bad.
Listen, and those are things that cost championship fights.
Yeah.
And I tell Tony all the time, it's like a lot of things. Like the last fight, I finally, that was the first camp I actually like. I had to really cut into him, like, bro, this you either gonna do this or you need to hang that shit up. Like,
Hmm.
we not about to keep going through this. You know what I'm saying? And he finally bought into it, and it was just the small stuff, like, bro, jabbing, getting under, staying tight in that pocket.
Yep.
If you gonna bang with somebody, you gotta smother them. You can't be having your guard all loose, getting hit with uppercuts and shit like that. You gotta just stay off the ropes. It's the small, tedious stuff that they act like they don't know, but they just
Mhm.
cause
Mhm.
they just lose it. You get to a certain level and just like fuck it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just really drilling the tedious shit into the pros, bro. That's really all. It's the simple stuff, simple boxing. There ain't nothing crazy about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. Ted, you had something?
Yeah. So tell me more about your gym and like some of the amateurs you got. Like if you want to do some shout outs, let me know.
Yeah, yeah. Man, I'll be here all day, man. But I got man, for real, bro. I got literally, like I said, bro. I got so I got so what I do is I got a travel team.
Okay.
So I travel with about 15 kids to the nationals, every national tournament, and then I got kids that's beginners. So it's like I kind of look at it as basketball. Like you got a JV team, and my goal is to get the JV team to varsity, which is the travel team. Every travel kid that I got, all 15 of them are ranked in the country. I think maybe 12 of them already won nationals, maybe more than once. So like you got like DeRay Dixon, Dejan Brown, Gary Pierce, Ryan Ship, um, Jaden Wyndham, who committed to Cincinnati for football. He
Nice.
going to Cincy, but he was one of my top prospects. You got Demarius Tucker, you got Jameer, you got Tamaya, you got Harmony. I mean, you got AJ. I mean, I got little Destin. I mean, I got literally a lot of them kids, bro. That's like that can go anywhere in the country and get busy with anybody, and I don't care
Right.
how
Right.
big or small you is.
Hey.
You know, yeah. And then you got to my beginners who I'm getting them to go through the hard stuff that you got to get beat up, you got to get in shape, you got to throw that jab, you got to get in confidence. So that's like how the program worked. And then a lot of the parents, my coach Bash has passed away, so now I got a lot of parents. I'm making them step up just to help.
Yeah.
So it's really just a family gym, bro. It's a tight gym. Um, Obviously, I'm the head of the ship, so I got to make sure everybody always got this level thing going on.
Yeah.
You got to do a lot of babying sometimes. You got to be hard. So I
Yeah.
mean, it's hard running that mud, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to,
Yeah.
as a leader, you got to understand when to be tough. You got to understand when to baby. You got to
Mhm.
know when to push them. You got to cater to this parent, this kid, that parent, that kid. My mom in my ear all day. So it's a great gym, bro. It's a great gym. I've never met nobody who came in there and just wanted to leave.
Mm.
Mm.
You know what? I
Okay.
want to say this too. I want to go ahead, Tez. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Go
so
ahead.
can we like stop by and do in-gym interviews?
Them kids would love that, bro. Them kids would love that.
Okay.
They would love that.
Mhm.
And again, I'm trying to get them prepared to be pros. So they need to learn how to talk. They gotta know how to say things. They gotta know how to get the camera in their face and understand
Yeah.
how to speak. So they would love to do that, man. And honestly, man, my kids deserve that, man. They great kids.
Yeah.
None of them get in trouble in school because I'm on all their lists because they know I will pop up to that school.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, they know I pop up to there. I'm on the list. Put me on the list. So they all good
Yeah.
kids, great kids, good athletes. They don't cause no trouble. They respectful. They don't bully nobody. They amazing kids, bro. I travel with them all the time. They don't give me no trouble. They great kids, bro. They work hard and they really good.
Yeah. I'm glad you said that too, because I tell parents, because parents, parents be like, I don't want to put my kid in boxing because I don't want to fight. I tell parents, like, listen, boxing is the best thing you can put your kid in. It will teach them so much discipline. Like when I
Hmm.
first did my clinicals, when I was checking the physicals and stuff, it was the most coolest kids I ever met. And then you know what? This is kind of Boxing Head Podcast is kind of Superbad is pretty much the motivation, man. Because of course we want to do this because we talk boxing all the time. But man, when I was at Golden Gloves and I saw your fighters fighting, what popped in my head was this: when it comes to boxing, you got boxing media, you got ESPN, they
Yeah,
may show the clips, but the amateur fighters, I
yeah,
was like, amateur fighters need a platform. Like
yes, they do.
all these great fighters, all these great amateurs, and some of them nobody may even know.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be nice to have them on the podcast where they could be like, yeah, I got national September. So this is how Boxing Heads came about. So I'm so glad to have you on here. And
And let me tell you this.
yeah,
I don't mean to cut you off, but
no, you good.
what would be good, and I'm just saying this, don't mean y'all have to do it, but I'm saying like when I was coming up with Tony, you know what they had back in the day that and they don't do it no more, but I do it for my kids because they still kids.
Mm-hmm.
When Tony and them was coming up, they had like books and they were ranked the best fighters in like the city of
Mm,
Detroit, it was like, or the state of Michigan or whatever. Mainly, let's say we just talking about Detroit, right?
yeah,
And they would have a book and it would be 147, 16 and under. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I think the amateur aspect that now, and I think that was the best thing that if I got to give myself credit, like when I started traveling so much with the kids, it brought the competitive back to Detroit. Because now
nice.
everybody's starting to travel now. They see how much I was traveling. They see how much I was connecting with different coaches, winning nationals. So now I open my door to all these gyms and everybody come through there. All the coaches connect. And it would be good for kids to get that ranking thing back.
Mhm.
Because at the end of the day, some of them ain't gonna never box when they get past 18.
Yeah,
Right.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? They
yeah,
and the ones that do make it, only a small percent of that gonna be a world champion. I tell them all the time.
Yeah.
yep,
Mm.
That is extremely hard to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They see Tony Harrison every day and think, oh, or they see the big posters on the wall and be, oh, and I'm like, that is extremely hard. So,
Yeah.
like a ranking system that y'all could possibly do, or like the podcast, just getting the kids something to
Look
remember.
into. Yeah.
Yes, because
yep,
that's
Mhm.
what's gonna matter. To remember, they can tell their kids or their cousins, like, "Well, I was cold. Look at this. Look at this
Yeah.
interview. Look at this
Yeah.
ranking. You know what
yep,
I'm
Yeah.
saying? So,
For
Yeah.
sure.
what y'all doing to get a platform for them kids, like y'all said, bro, they don't have that. They need that, and they be excited for that. They still have to be kids. You know what I'm
yep,
saying?
Mhm.
mm-hmm,
Now,
yep.
as far as coaching goes, do you think you can like give us an instance where Like, because I know you said you got like a way you tend them to, like, all right, you got to come in here, you're gonna get beat up, you're gonna get in shape, do all this. Have you had an instance where you had a fighter and you like, man, this ain't working? You know what I'm saying? Like, let me do this, maybe to complement their style, maybe to account for like how they learn, upbringing. Like, what, like, you got an instance where you had to kind of switch up your methods?
Yeah, 100%. Like, for example, it's a kid that came to my gym, Josiah Shackelford. He's a pro. He lost his. I think he was 5-2 when he came to my gym. He 2-0 since he came to my gym. Josiah, honestly, is not my typical style fighter that I grew up learning the technical way. Jab, boom. Josiah is the first fighter I had where he's a pressure fighter. Josiah is a pressure fighter. So that's, when a kid like that come to my gym, like I said, he's a pro. So I'm not here to say this is how you supposed to box or what you learned at another gym was bad. That's not my job. My job is to get Josiah to be the best pressure fighter that he could possibly be without taking punishment. So it's situations all the time. People come in there, bro, that's just different, bro. Everybody is just different, bro. You know what I'm saying? But I've studied this stuff so much, bro, that I'm able to say, okay, I don't have to change on style. I don't have to make all my fighters in the gym one way.
Yeah.
They all need to have their own flavor, their own style.
And I know this question might be a little different. I don't know if anybody probably even asked you this before, but this just came off the top of my head. Where do you think new fighters get their style of fighting from? Because like me, I've never had a fight in the ring. You feel me? But like, if I got in there, like, what do you think will equate to like how I'm fighting? Is it just a comfort feeling? Like you're trying to find some comfort in being there? So, like, where do you think a style of fighting come from?
It's funny because every guy that come in my gym that do that, the first thing I tell them is you watch too much TV. That's the
They
first
do
thing
it
I
like
tell
this,
all
right?
of them.
They
I'm
come
like,
in there
bro,
like
y'all
this.
watch. I'm like, bro, you watch too much TV, bro. It's like a movie, bro. When you watch movies, right? You watch Equalizer, Denzel shooting up cars and he grabbing guns from getting robbed and stuff. You think somebody come up on you for real, you're just gonna grab a gun and they right in your face. Like, bro, you watch too much TV, bro. You know what I mean? That's the first thing I tell any kid. They come in there and I just be like, bro, you watch too much TV. I think that's what a lot of people doing now. Like a lot of people that come in my gym that think they know boxing. I'm like, let me see you. All right, let me just see you throw a jab, and I just see how they doing the shoulder roll, and I'm like, you watch too much TV, bro.
Yeah, they
You
come in
watch too
just
much
like that.
TV, bro. Yeah, they got the shoulder all up, and they trying to, and I'm like, bro, you watch too much TV, bro. It ain't that simple. You know what I'm saying? So I think, that's a good question, but I think to answer your question, I would say, bro, just the TV, bro. It's the TV, bro. Like I said,
It's
they see it Tony
programming.
here.
It's programming.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's programming, bro. They see a Tony in the gym and they think that they literally can wake up one day and just do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But they don't watch YouTube and Jake Paul and highlights, and it's just highlights in YouTube, bro. That's all. That's all it is.
Okay. That's what's up.
Yeah. So I gotta so this is probably another question nobody asked you, man, because I'm right with you when it comes to like, because I lost my pops last year, and one of the things that especially the family, it's kind of like a passing of the torch.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like, all right. So for example, when my dad left, everybody was like, all right, you nest to your dad. So people family call me and ask me for advice and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to be used to stuff like that. So the question I have for you, like you were saying, when your pops died and they gave you the keys, like what was the thoughts in your head? Because one thing is grieving. Grieving is like, that's something, especially losing a parent, that never goes away. But having those keys in your hand and say, you know what? What was going through your mind at that time?
I'm hard body. Because I already knew it was about to come my way when I did it. And let me tell y'all something, man. And I never told nobody this. And I'm being completely honest with y'all.
Mm-hmm.
The first 2 years of me coaching, I didn't know shit about coaching in no corner. I training a fighter and being in that corner for that 1 minute is two different things. right?
Mhm.
And I knew that, right? My first fight was with Shishkin on Showtime. I had zero. Man, listen, when I say I had zero clue what the fuck I was doing, I say that proudly. I had no clue what the fuck I was doing. I didn't know what the fuck the chief second was. None of that shit, bro. So he like, who your chief second? I'm like, I think it's this dude. And they like, who the head trainer? And I'm like, oh shit, me.
Mm.
Like I knew zero about being in the corner. Not that doesn't have nothing to do with knowing boxing. It's just literally the corner. You know what I'm saying? So them 2 years I took so much heat, bro, and I knew I was gonna have to be here. Like LJ a basketball player, he don't know nothing about this, he don't know nothing about this. And I took it on the chin for the first 2 years. I sat back and I just read all the comments and I'm like, damn, so when I got the keys, I knew I was gonna have to be mentally strong for not only myself, but for the whole gym.
Yeah.
So when I get to a point where I'm at now, I teach my kids the mental toughness you have to take when somebody you love pass, or when something don't go your way, or when everybody don't like you, or when everybody's not in your favor. You have to look at the bigger picture, and you have to say, I owe this to y'all. I didn't do it for the people that was dogging me. I did it for the people that believed in me in that gym every day.
Yeah.
To study that craft, to understand that corner, to learn the corner. So now I can put the corner with the experience my dad been teaching me for the last 30 years.
Yeah.
Mm.
And one thing I want to say, I want to just say, like, forget all them people who was making comments and stuff like that, because one thing about the sport, and I've been studying the sport of boxing probably about, I want to say maybe like 4 or 5 years now. I became an enthusiast just because I'm like, the more I got into it, the more I wanted to learn.
Yep.
And it started with me and CJ. He would he'll just be up. I'll be like, hey, turn this fight on YouTube. And like we'll just push play at the same time. So we going back and forth. I'm talking about like, bro, all night. Like, what is this? You feel me?
Yeah.
So I want to say this. There's no college to learn. Like you can't go to U of M. You can't go to Eastern Michigan and go and get a degree in it. So for me to you, I want to say like you had to get it out the mud. I don't care if you was working on the ice cream truck.
Listen,
if you understand it, you understand it.
Hey, listen, and that's what I tell people. And so people come to me, right? They be like, man, I learned so much from your dad. So my mind go, man, I knew your dad for 7 years, right? This first thing, I knew your dad for 7 years. He taught me everything. So my mind is like, well, what you thought I knew for 30 years? What you think I know for the last 30 years? If my dad taught you everything you know in 7, what you think I know for 30 years?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it be stuff like that that keep me pushing, because they not gonna say it, oh, LJ doing this thing now. They not gonna say it, but it's things like that, man. Your dad was everything to me. So what you think my dad was to me and Tony?
Exactly.
Or this gym?
Yeah.
Like, why wouldn't I know something that my dad taught you and you only got 7 years? You know what I'm saying? So like you said, bro, it's literally no like answer to it. It's just what you put into it. You know what I'm saying? And I owe my gym that, I owe Tony that, I owe these babies that. So the first 2 years I used the amateur corner for experience. And that's really what the best thing about it is. I got so many miles on the amateur side that it helps in the professional corner. And then like my kids, now I build my confidence. Tony, stop, put your fucking hands up, so you get to talk a certain way now. You know what I'm saying? So it's all just what you put into it, bro. Just because you didn't grow up learning the sport don't mean you can't be enthusiast now. Or you can't talk boxing now. If you talking it the right way and you mean well by it and you not being biased. If you're doing things the right way and you learn it, that don't mean you can't be an expert at it.
Yeah.
Yep. Question. So if I go to the gym today, how long until I get to spar?
I don't hold hands. That's one thing about my gym. Listen, I got a kid. Right, Demarius Tucker. He 80 pounds. He's number 1 in the country. 80 pounds. Some kids, you gotta train them. It might take 5 years. Rio came in that gym. They call him Baby Tank. Off rip, you going to national? Let's go. So some people come in there and you can see they just got it, bro. They strong, they physical, they athletic, they can take a punch, they throw. That's Demarius Tucker, right? And then you got kids like Daydream, who little Day Day, where he knew zero. He looked like he was playing, I don't even know, right? And now he number 2, 3 in the country. So some kids take time, some people right off the rip. It don't matter. I don't hold hands. So if you come in there and now you hitting that bag and I'm like, oh, I think he can protect himself. I'm gonna put you in there with somebody who gonna make you work, not that's gonna hurt you,
Yeah.
Right.
but who gonna make you work. And if you get
Okay.
past who gonna make you work, all right, I think he might be ready for this kid now though.
Yeah.
I
So
like
I
that.
always know, I always can keep an eye to see who is ready for what level. I got kids for every experience of a person that come in that gym.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So where we at? We at 30. We're gonna go to a commercial break. Don't go nowhere. When we get back, I gotta ask LJ. So I always tell myself, if aliens came to space and they say, show me the sweet science, what 3 fights I would show. When we come back, I want LJ to tell me. So my favorite Tony Harrison fight, and you trained this. This is like the sweet science when he beat Sergio
Mm-hmm.
Garcia. Oh my god, man! Like that,
Yeah,
that
that was
one of
sweet
the
science. That was sweet science.
woo.
But I
So
still,
mhm,
I still get at like a B minus though.
Oh, you
mm,
hard on. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
because it was. See, I guess again. I know you about to go commercial. I'm gonna keep it quick. We chop it up. Let's go to commercial, man. We
yeah,
chop
let's
it
go
up.
to commercial. We'll be right back.
Nothing in this world can stop us.
Welcome to the Resilient Radio Stream YouTube channel, Boss and Head Podcast. Make sure you hit the like button. I do want to do this real quick. Don't forget, we've been nominated for the podcast for the best new podcast and also the best sports podcast. We have the link and everything on our Instagram page. So if you got Instagram, go to the Boss and Head Podcast. And if you got Facebook, go to Boss and Head Podcast. Make sure y'all vote. The voting ends September 14th. You can vote as many times as you want. I do want to show some pictures too, man, of just the gym, some of the fighters, and even I mentioned earlier the grocery giveaway and the toy giveaway that LJ and Tony do. So I'm gonna just show some pictures here. That's LJ in the lab. This is the grocery and toy giveaway. This is man, and they give so much, man, back to the community. So much, man. Like, so make sure, man, if y'all see Superbad Gym grocery giveaway, man, y'all better get out there, man, because they for sure look out for the people, and they are a gym of the people for sure. I'm gonna just look at all those champions, and there's more champions too as well that he got in this camp. Of course, I got to show Tony, man. This is the dynamic duo of boxing right here, so I got to show that. I'm gonna let my brothers back in. We was before we do that, before you get into that, I'm gonna go in here. I'm gonna go in here real quick to the comments, real quick, some comments. So pops out the fire sign. Dusky, we got fire. Yo, shout out to Resilient Radio Stream YouTube channel. Thank you for the super chat. People for real. He said more kids need to learn how to throw their hands instead of pulling the armor. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Pops, what's going on, Pops? Thanks for the super chat. That's heavy talk, AJ. Yep, for sure. So we just gonna keep it. Virginia said, "Good job." So yeah, so you said you gave this fight a B plus. So
Yeah.
I was going crazy, man, when I was watching this fight, like off some like studying. I was like, "Oh my god!" But yeah, but go ahead. You said it's a B plus.
So if if you can imagine, right, when Tony beat Charlo the first time,
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
well, the only time he beat him, but if you look at when Tony threw a punch, when he threw a jab, if you look at how solid, how strong his body was, like I mean, just his posture, it was locked in. His jab, boom, counter, pull, under, counter right hand. It was locked in. His body was sharp. His legs were strong. I give him a B plus for Garcia because again, it's the tedious thing that I look for. So if you watch that fight with Garcia, a lot of times you will see Tony throw a jab, and I mean, Tony gonna be 95% of the world because he's just that good of a fighter. Just hands down, you got to be that top tier 1 or 2% to beat Tony Harrison on a bad day, right?
Mhm.
So when he beat Garcia, did Tony look good? Yeah, but he did a lot of stuff that I tell him like he was throwing jabs, he was kind of dragging after his jabs. He was like, he was whoa, whoa, whoa. And then it's like he kind of had to fight himself to kind of get back into the point where he can recover and move. So you would have to watch that fight again, and then you will see, did he get under? Absolutely. Did he throw a good jab? Absolutely. But he made a lot of mistakes because it worked against Garcia because that's Tony Harrison.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So when you get a young buck in there that's going to counter that jab because you kind of dragging it, we got a problem.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm not judging Tony off Garcia because I know Tony Garcia is going to beat them type of guys. Tony Harrison is going to beat them Garcias. I need Tony Harrison to lock in so when we fight Carlos Amatis for the WBC belt,
Yes,
is
sir.
your movement's going to reflect on how you're supposed to move against somebody that's coming to really put some thunder in there.
Yeah.
Y'all follow what I'm saying? So
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
the B plus, good job, Tony. Good job. Yeah, good job. But I tell Tony time, is that gonna work against Carlos Amatis though?
Right.
Oh, that guy, he gonna be in there. Come on, and he flying them. He letting them rip. We ain't got time to be dragging no jabs and whoa, 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 and your hand dropping down, and we can't afford that.
Yeah.
So B plus because it's Tony Harrison. He did what he's supposed to do. He looked good. It wasn't bad, but like I told y'all, it's the tedious stuff that he got to sharpen up with, and that's why he get a B plus from me.
So what about the Charlo fight? Because that was one of my favorite fights. I think he outclassed. I argue with my pops all the time about that fight because he think he lost, but I think he outclassed him the whole
100%.
100%.
100%.
So what you get that fight?
I think he did an A plus on that.
Ooh,
I think he did a plus on that because he was that. I mean, to be a 9-1 underdog in that's and to look how you did. And I tell all my kids, slow is better. When you understand boxing and you could slow somebody down and they not forcing you to do something that's very good. And I feel like Tony slowed the fight down. And a lot of times Charlo got frustrated and tried to run in and force it. Tony countered and pop, right hand got under. Yeah. It was very strategic. It looked like the Spurs. He used all 24 seconds of that shot clock every possession.
Yeah.
It almost looked like it was so easy that Tony wasn't even like ready for it. Almost, he like, hold on. It was like he was shocked. It was like nothing Charlo could do, and then again he get frustrated and he going and throwing them big shots, and Tony just out of there. Even in the rematch, I feel like for the first 6-7 rounds or whatever it was, I'm like, bro, it's the same thing again.
It was the same thing.
Cannot be messed with. Only thing I feel like he went wrong is kind of just taunting. I feel like he got to taunting them a little too much.
Okay, so guess what? And that's what. And again, when you fighting a champion, are we trying to win or are you trying to please the crowd?
Right.
Yep.
Are you trying to win? Because technically, 10 times out of 10, I'm gonna bet my money Tony can beat a Charlo. That's no disrespect to Charlo, but I'm saying if Tony fights the first fight how he did, you beat him every time. So my thing is, every time. So my thing is when you get people to say, I don't think he won, so now Tony has something to prove. Oh, watch this then. Watch what I do to him. So now, guess what happened to Tony? You look better. You look like you dog walking him, but now you taking more punishment than you have to. You understand what I'm saying? So the first hit might not hurt you, or the second, or the third, or the fourth. But then that 11th round, when that one, it's kind of wearing and tearing on you now. So it's
you
like
got tired.
You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it might not even be just tired, bro. It's just you can't keep banging on something and think it ain't eventually gonna tear or crack. And like you said, tired might be the situation. Charlo can fight, Charlo can punch. We sometimes, like I said, simple is better, bro. If you trying to win, simple is better. Simple is better. Did you please the crowd? Hell yeah. Did they feel like that was You know what I'm saying? And they
Yeah.
feel like, oh, Tony Harrison, he was dog walking. Did you put a lot of smiles on people's faces for the rematch?
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely.
But
But
you
you
it's
know
know,
what
all
too, LJ? You know what too? That what you have right there, that attitude you have with your brother, and I can already see how y'all talk when y'all going through y'all
we
camp.
kick it. I chop it with him.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
what every little brother need, man. You are such a great brother, man, because like you keep it 100. I say this: everybody needs somebody who keep it 100 with them,
Mm-hmm.
even when they don't hear it, and that's the best way. It's the best advice coming from a big brother. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
it's a testament to you too, man. Like what you tell him and how you talk to him and how he performs. It's a reflection of you as well, and you know what I
100%.
mean.
100%. And like I said, it's, you know, at the end of the day, man, I'm not gonna ever gas no fighter I have to the point where I have to lie to them to make them feel like they doing something that they can't.
Yeah.
The first thing I ask any fighter come to my gym, do you want to be a world champion or just something it's a hobby for you? Right? Because if you want to be a world champion, then you have to understand it might not be, I got a kid, Lance Smith, 5-0, 6-0, dangerous fighter. I'm not training you for these first 12 fights. I'm training you for when they call you, which they gonna do. They're gonna call somebody you don't know, and he gonna be right in your face the whole time.
Yep.
So and again, it's tedious things, man. I can't say that more than enough. It's the tedious things. It's not really teaching them how to fight. It's how to prepare to be a world champion, and
Yeah.
not win the belt, but hold on to the belt.
Right.
Yeah. And see, the crazy part about it is you hitting in so many different points, you actually running through my questions. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, now I can't ask this, but I'm gonna ask one anyway, because I done heard the kind of your philosophy on like going into a big match. But you got a kid. This is first big match.
Mhm.
Like this is kind of like almost like a proven match. For him, for his mentality. Like, what's your steps to like just getting them ready? What are you saying to him? What are you telling him to do? I don't know if you do I think you do the strength and conditioning sometime as well, or like what
Sometimes,
are they
yeah.
eating? What are you putting them around? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you telling them at this point as a trainer?
Every fighter is different, man.
Yeah.
Tony like his hands wrapped without his thumb. Sometimes Lance like this,
Mm.
Jasmine Hampton like that. So everybody got, it depends, and that's why honestly when people call me, I don't really train a lot of people unless I can really know your fucking family. I want to be able to know your family. I'm not one of them guys who's just gonna come up the last minute and say, oh yeah, I train you because you're fighting for. It ain't that serious to me.
Yeah.
So most of the time, most of the people that I train it just come down to how they prepare in the gym. And what I'm doing for them in the gym is getting them to understand that every day doesn't have to be wear and tear. It's again what you learning to pick your spots to be able to slow the fight down.
Mm.
And
Okay.
that's my
Yeah.
main thing with all my pros. Are you able to get to the point where you can slow it down, look at what you're doing, know what's coming behind that, control the ring with a jab? Are you in shape to do that?
Yeah.
So
Right?
you would
If
say
you
your style is more of a technical standpoint. So you like to slow them down a little bit so they can see.
my stance, my training gonna always be technical because it's the
Yeah.
sweet science of it. It's gonna always be
Absolutely.
that for me. That's what I
Sure.
learned. And my job is I don't like, I understand with boxing you're gonna get hit. I understand you're gonna get hurt.
Mm.
But my job is to get you to understand we don't need punishment. You don't need punishment at the end of the day. I don't want to see nobody get punished. So again,
Yeah.
can you understand what you're doing in that ring? Can you slow that ring down? Can you win with a jab and then throw a 2-3 or a set when you need to carry over the round?
Yeah.
You know. And again, sometimes you're gonna have people like a Jerry Hurd who gonna be in your face the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Have you been running enough miles to maintain that style? And that's
Mhm.
all it come down to.
Yep.
Can you maintain that style for 12 rounds? Because you know you're the better fighter,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So that's why I teach my kids, bro. If this your style, can you maintain that against a Mexican fighter? Can you maintain that against a Ukrainian fighter? Can you maintain that against a Irish fighter? That's all it come
Yeah.
down to.
Mm.
Yep, and I like that because like since I've been watching boxing and all these matches and all this stuff, I ain't gonna lie, that style right there that you're speaking of is so dangerous because we've seen fighters in the last 3-4 years get just say they get knocked out in like the third round
Mhm.
and then they get up and then they go and fight again in another couple, 3, 4, 5 months, and they're good. They're all right. We see fighters go 12 rounds getting beat by somebody that's a technical fighter and just dominate the mental.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, you're probably better off just going to bed. Because
Yeah.
these fighters who
Nah.
go through a 12-round beating, bro, they got to go to Africa. You know, they
Yeah.
got to see all the people, you know, and then come back and try to get a whole new mentality. We've seen
Yeah.
it.
No,
We've
facts.
seen it.
Facts.
Yeah.
But the thing too now with American fighters, just in general, and again, I can teach my kids is because I've been through it. I've been through it with Tony, with Alicia. You know, I've experienced my dad. I've experienced it. So times is just changed.
Mm-hmm.
The American fighters don't. I'm not gonna say they don't care, but they don't really have much to prove anymore as far as the work ethic because we know we the better fighter than somebody from Japan or Australia or Mexico. So what's happening now is these guys have something to prove as far as you might be the better fighter. That's why you see a lot of Americans now. Like again, I'm not trying to throw nobody in the bus because it's still boxing, but like even Tony when he went to Timzu or Stephen Fulton when he went to Japan or
Okay, yeah.
you seeing like a lot of guys that's better fighters but are you able to maintain that style for 12 rounds?
Mhm.
And these cats is training for 20 rounds because they knowing that we ain't prepared to go 12 rounds like this.
Mm.
So the thing is now, man, again, that's why I just focus on, again, all my guys, bro. Are you prepared to handle your style for 12 rounds in a real fucking fight? Because you really have to move and get under from these guys because they putting pressure on us right now, bro.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's
I,
getting tight, bro. It's just getting tight, man. The American guys, man, they so skilled, bro. They more skilled than ever, bro. But it just seemed like, they feel like it just seemed like almost a lot of them that I watch is like they got it already, like figured out, or like I'm at a certain status and this is just what it's gonna be.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Ted, you had anything?
yeah, I'm glad you touched on that because I'm still not on that NUA train, even though we put them on our pound for
yeah.
pound list. Yeah, I'm still not on that train. But no, as far as your big dog in the gym, man, like how you feel about his last fight? Like what you thinking about the last fight?
To my Tony.
Yeah.
Honestly, if I'm being honest, I would probably get at an A minus. I would
Mhm.
get at an A minus in the sense of, like I told him, great fight. The main thing he came to me and told me was he had fun.
That's
You
good.
know,
Yeah.
he had fun, and that's what I'm looking for, bro. I'm looking for my brother to get in there and have fun, bro. I don't want
Yeah.
this to be something that he has to struggle with or doubt himself. The last round the ninth round he got knocked down. 10th round, I had instructions for him. He went in there and did the opposite.
Yeah.
But I can live with that. But
Yeah.
I can,
Yeah.
I can live with that. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Because
Yeah.
in his mind, I got to get that back. And
Yeah.
when I watched him maneuver in that pocket, it was what I told him: don't pull up, change your
Mhm.
angles. If you are gonna get to that situation, make sure you shifting, make sure you getting under, make sure you changing, make sure you going to the body, smother the punches, don't stand up. And that was good to see because it lets me know that he finally understand what I'm telling him about the tedious things.
Yeah.
He had fun. His jab was amazing.
Amazing.
He was getting under. He didn't make a lot of mistakes. He didn't lean in with his jab. He snapped his jab from the back foot a lot. I mean, his head movement was good. Um, he didn't do a lot of things wrong, especially considering he been off 2.5 years and he
Mhm.
moved up
Yeah.
in weight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So he felt better at 160.
he ain't got no choice but to feel better at 160. So
Yeah.
because he would never fight at 54 again.
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Facts.
and
Yeah.
if I'm being honest, that's why he struggled against Timzu, or like that's why he struggled against a lot of them guys. It's not because he's tired; it's because he couldn't make weight. And every
Yeah.
fight that I'm with him making the weight, he's struggling an hour after the weigh-ins to make
Mm.
54.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I said, Tony, I'm watching my brother get off the couch at 170, spar 12 rounds in his
Mm.
sleep. So why ain't that translating to the ring at 154? Because he can't make the
Mm.
weight.
Got you. Yeah.
He got knocked down in that ninth round and got up and finished stronger. If that was
Yep.
54, he probably wouldn't have got up. He would have got upset at home.
Mm.
If we
Yeah.
being real. So
Yeah.
I had to remind him, bro, 160 is better for you. So now I have to get him to fill out to 160. He still has a 54 frame.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, he's still wiry. I gotta fill him out just a little bit more. Probably get like another fight or two. We got to fight in December. And then we supposed to be trying to, you know, we got some cars and shit now. So it just really getting me to get him to get comfortable at 160, fill out his body a little bit, you know, and keep
Yeah.
having fun, bro. That's the main thing. Just keep having fun. It's your last ride, bro. Have fun in there, man. You know.
Yes, sir.
So I thought I seen a rumor of him being on the Fandor Thurman undercard. Is that true?
Well, it was, but we ended up getting nothing was signed. They came to me with an offer for
Mhm.
him. Wasn't the best offer. I mean, could have been a stay busy fight, yeah, but it wasn't the best offer because I understand that this kid is somebody that they push in that middleweight.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So the money that they was offering to push a prospect to fight Tony Harrison is not enough.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, if you're gonna fight Tony Harrison, if you want to use his name on paper,
Exactly.
it got to be worth it, and it got to
Right.
be a big name. Honestly, other than that, it's
Mhm.
no point of fighting. You know, a guy like that. No disrespect to him, but it's no point business wise and Tony career wise to fight somebody of that stature for 200,000 or 150,000. You know that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Especially
So
a former champ that beat a Jermell Charlo in his prime. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
and I mean, Tony had some, you know, a lot of fights, bro. And like I said, the only people he ever lost to was world champions.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he's either been one or lost to one. So
Yep.
that alone puts him in a category where you got to kind of pay for certain things.
Mhm.
So we got a better offer in December that we gonna take.
That's what's up.
You know,
You
it's a
know, we
good
gonna
fight.
support.
Yeah,
I
it's a
got I
good.
got oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, wait, what you saying, chat?
I'll say I got one more question. I'm gonna pass it to y'all. All right, so you already touched on who y'all trying to fight in the future. You already said one fighter. Like who
Mhm.
else? And then I got one more question.
Okay.
So answer that first, and I'll ask you the next question.
Okay. So what? Okay. So what you say? Who else we would fight?
Yeah, who else y'all looking to fight? Like because Laura he a champ at 160,
I think
and then
I think for me right now, my goal for Tony is not to rush it. I think that's where
Mhm.
Tony goes wrong too. He'll win one fight, then he might take a year or something off, then they throw him in there with a big name. So my thing for Tony is right now just to get like maybe two more fights, like one more fight in December, like another tune up. Um, Depending on how he look on that, that's sometimes not. But to answer your question, I would say let's say we get past that December fight, we looking at like a Chris Eubanks.
okay, yeah, okay,
Yeah,
Nice.
we looking at like a Chris Eubanks.
Yeah.
Like I said, we're looking at a Carlos Amades. We probably, we looking at like a, like Danny Garcia.
Yeah.
that's what that
You
was my
know,
next question. That was
yeah,
my
we
next
looking
question.
at,
Dang,
we
that'd
looking
be
at some,
smoke right there.
yeah,
Yeah,
maybe like a, them my guys over there, PJ and them, but not saying him, but somebody like a Terrell Goucher,
Yeah.
something like that where it might not be for a title, but it's still a great fight. It's still a great money fight,
Absolutely. Yeah.
and and the goal for both people in the ring is to be a world champion. That'll put you in position to obviously do that.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would say like a Chris Eubanks, Connor Bean, somebody like Connor Bean to still
Yeah.
be, he in the mix too. So like I would, Chris Eubanks, Connor Bean, Terrell Goucher, like I said, something like that. Danny Garcia's,
yeah.
them good fights.
Who you
Yeah.
got in that fight? Conor Ben versus Eubanks too. Who you got in that fight?
Um, I probably would go with Eubanks again.
Okay.
You know, I think it's hard to beat somebody like Eubanks when you're coming up from
Yeah.
a weight like that because the range is gonna always be a problem. And I think now he's not gonna make it as hard as he did the first fight. I think the first
Yeah.
fight you gotta show him like who is the bigger person in his ring. But I think
Yeah.
now that you realize you can take his best shot, it's really no point in taking it no more.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So
Facts.
it's just like, you'll use his jab, he can't really hurt you. So I mean, I think Eubanks will probably do it. I think it'll still be close, but I think Eubanks will do it. And I'm a huge kind of being fan as well, too. So
Nice.
I probably think Eubanks.
Okay.
Let's get it. I got a question for you. This is so because you're a trainer. So outside of your family, give me 3 fighters that you would love to train. It could be from any era. It could be from this era.
Um, I'm gonna do this era because I want people to understand that I'm a fan of boxing first. I don't really have nobody that I'm like, man, I hope, but I love it. I love J Rock. I love J Rock. Julian Williams is a
Yep.
My
great
guy.
fighter. to me.
Hey,
Julian Williams is a
Love
great
him.
fighter to me, bro. He is
Yeah.
really a good fighter. I would love to share the ring with J Rock. I would say it's I would say like if I'm being real, I would say like a Boots Ennis.
Mhm. Oh
I would
yeah.
like to share the ring with Boots. And surprisingly, and these are guys that's not like really there, but I would like to share the ring with I'm gonna give you two more. I would say Brian Norman Jr. and Terrence Crawford.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
I all those guys to me are like I like guys that's just normal guys. They don't really need
mm-hmm.
the spotlight. They don't need to be doing the most talking. They don't need, you talk to them, they like straightforward. Like, man, what we doing, man? Like, I'm
Yeah,
boxing, man. We ain't got to do all the, all the extra stuff. So, and then they
Yeah.
great fighters as well. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But
Yeah.
yeah, J Rock is one of my all time favorites, bro. Like as far as like that '54 era with him, Tony Lubin,
Oh
Charlo
yeah.
Hurd, Laura.
Mm-hmm.
That to me, they got swept
yeah.
under the rug bad.
Yeah.
It
Hey,
did. It
Yeah,
Yeah.
they
did.
got swept under
It
the rug
did.
bad. Like they got swept under the rug bad. That didn't get enough. That didn't get enough credit. Austin
I
Trout,
agree.
all them guys didn't get enough credit, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. You just mentioned the fighter, Terrence Crawford. So you know we got fight week next week.
Yeah.
So who you got?
Hold on. So
Uh,
after you answer that, I got like all the big fights. I'm gonna ask you. You know, you go pick all the big
okay.
fights.
I ain't gonna get into the details. I'm gonna just give y'all a straightforward name. All right. So we're gonna start with Crawford in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Crawford and Bud and Canelo.
I gotta roll with. I'm gonna roll with Crawford just cause that's people. I'm gonna roll with Crawford.
For the culture,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Fandora Thurman.
Fondor.
Ortiz Lubin.
Mm. God damn. Man, I was hoping you weren't gonna ask that one too. I'm gonna go with Lubin though. I'm gonna
Okay.
go with Lubin.
Okay. Benavidez Yard.
Benavidez.
All right, you already said Chris Eubanks. Tank Jake Paul.
Oh my God, man.
Hey,
Both of them, cause
talk,
both
talk
of
on
them.
that for a
All
minute.
they doing is about to get money. So I'm gonna say both of them.
Man, share
Yeah.
your opinion on that for a minute, man. Let me hear your opinion on that for a minute.
I mean, you know, realistically, like I said, times change. I feel like they earned the right to do what they want to do, bro. And I feel like, you know, it's not something that I would like pay to go watch or anything like that. But I mean, that's what they got going on. So it's like you really can't knock it, bro. I'd rather see Jake Paul fight like a Andrew Tabiti or something like that. Somebody that's
Yeah.
Tabiti ain't a world champion like that, but he good. And I'd rather see Jake Paul. I mean, I'd rather see Tank fight like a Shakur or some shit like that.
Yeah,
But I
Yeah.
don't. That don't make to me. It don't make no sense for them to fight. But
yeah. I said instead of Andre Ward hey, I'm losing
AJ.
my train.
Yeah,
AJ,
because he just called out AJ. Yeah.
yeah, instead of him fighting AJ, just go
yeah,
fight Jake Paul, get that bag. But I
yeah,
skip one fight. Haney Norman.
that's a good fight too.
Yeah.
Um, I'm gonna go with Norman though. I'm gonna go with Norman. I'm gonna go
Yeah.
with Norman. I like Norman. I feel like Devin is a good fighter for sure. Like he fast, he got
Yeah.
the speed to do it. But I feel like Norman is pretty athletic, bro. Norman is very
Yeah.
athletic. Yeah, Norman is very athletic. I probably go Norman. That's a good fight too, though.
That's a
That's a
great
good
fight.
fight. Yeah, that's a good fight. That's one thing boxing got going right now, though. It's a lot of good fights, though. Like the Jake Paul and them is kind of but normally people been strapping up their boots though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like considering what we was probably 3 years ago, they fighting now though. So I mean, you got to give them
Yeah.
credit for that though. These guys is fighting though. So I mean, it's a lot of good fights going on now. So that's pretty good though.
Yeah. Before we close, man, you got anything you want to tell the people? It could be about anything any fights that's coming up, any fires you got coming up, any community service, just anything you want to tell the people.
No, I would. Well, what I do want to say is, um, when you trying to achieve something, surround yourself with people that honestly believe in you and mean well by you. Because that's what helped me. And I learned that a lot of my blood family didn't really support me, and I feel like the people that kept me going was the people in that gym, and they wasn't related to me at all. So I would just say this to anybody, man, that's chasing a coaching dream that don't know what they're doing, a podcast dream, or whatever dream that you're trying to do. Surround yourself with people that's just like you, that want the same goals, and the good thing will come from whatever you're looking for. And I think that's just what I've learned just in general, that I'm learning now in general with life, bro. It doesn't have to be somebody that's related to you, but they have to understand that, everybody got the same goal. And just, I pray that everybody, bro, just really achieve what they want and get through that hard time and get through that hump to get to where they trying to go. Because it's a good thing once you get over that hump and you're doing it with people that's believed in you from day one, like your team, like a boxing team, bro. So I would say, man, my gym is a success because of a lot of people that support genuinely. And I just want to say thank you to y'all, first of all, for having me as well, to share these stories that a lot of people don't know. To get people to understand a little bit about how I think in the ring and with my team. And, I appreciate y'all a lot, bro. And, I hope that you guys get the success that y'all looking for as well. And y'all keep it going. And, my gym is always available for anybody that's, trying to get through them doors.
Oh yeah, thanks, bro. We appreciate you, man. We had to get you on here to give you your flowers, man, because
thank you,
you're
bro.
all around the city, man. And I know you be doing your thing. LJ is so humble, man. Like you can just go up to him and be like, "What up?" He's like, "Yeah, 100%. What's going on?"
100%. 100%.
He's so laid back and humble, man. But I'm like,
100%.
no, we got to get bro on here because, bro, like Tony and LJ, they really doing the work of God in the city. And we just wanted to give you this platform, man, just so we can kick it with you. We wanted to give you your flowers, and just kick it with you, man. But
no, thank you, bro. Like I said, I said a lot of things I've never said before, and I appreciate that, y'all having me, and I was able to share this, my thoughts with y'all, bro. It was definitely a good time, bro. Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah, for sure, man. And I'll be in contact with you, man. As soon as y'all have the grocery giveaway, man, I want to make myself available.
I got you. I'm gonna start sending y'all the flyers and little stuff like that. Keep y'all in the updated fights and tournaments and giveaways and turkeys and all that stuff. We'll stay involved. We'll keep pushing.
Tell them where to follow you at.
Instagram, LJ Harrison 7, Facebook, LJ Harrison. The gym page, Superbad Academy on Instagram. The gym address 8701 Puritan, Detroit, Michigan 48238. You can find us anywhere. You can always pop in the gym, stop in. We normally open from 8 to 8 every day. And if anybody interested in getting some information about boxing, just hit me up on one of the socials, and we'll make it happen.
Yes, sir. Yep. So we'll see y'all next week. Keep it boxing, keep it in the square circle.
Yep.
See y'all next week.
Appreciate y'all. Thank you.
For sure.
If you taking jabs in life, you ain't got a puncher's chance. Watch me lay these hands like a preacher gained a bunch of fans. Ain't about who the favorite, who the best. They a bunch of stands. Know I'm highly favored cause these fists got me out mini jam. They say